Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Series 14. And today we are doing a sketch by the Crystal Barrett, who is Pineapple Papers here on YouTube. I actually really like this sketch. I like all the sketches, you guys. We've got some beautiful, talented people that create these sketches just for Christy for her 30 days. And it's awesome because she does this 3 times a year. That's 90 sketches plus I think she ends up doing a extra sketch for those months that have 31 days. Don't quote me on that though, because I could be wrong. All right, so I'm pulling out the layout. Now, I did pick out 2 different types of embellishments because I didn't know if I wanted the embellishments to go this way or that way. So when I was pulling out the embellishments, I really tried to channel the embellishments and the way that the sketch is. So I brought in the flowers and the florally bits and all the pretty stuff. And then I also brought in the camping stuff because that's what my pictures are telling me to do. So I have a couple flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. Excuse me. And then I've got a couple die cut pieces that are from all over the place. Doodlebug, Paper Rose, Simple Stories, just all over the place. Some of them are fussy cut out. Some of them came in a die cut pack. I've got these 2 wood pieces. I think they're, I don't even know where they're from. I didn't turn them over, so I don't know if they're from a paper pad or a piece of packaging. Who knows? But I am just sharing with you guys what all I really picked out from, I don't know, leftovers. That's technically what all these are leftovers. I even have the leftover clear fern stickers that came in my advent calendar from last year. Here is another close-up of the sketch. It is for day 5. I'm going to use this blue cardstock here from 49 and Market Nature Study to map my photos. I really like this blue tone that I have. I pulled out my my tissue paper, and then from Pretty Little Studio, I will be using this one, warmer weather paper from the Wildflower collection that it was a little mini kit that I made for the shop. I'm not sure if there's any left over. And then from Dusty Attic, I have this awesome giant sketchy circle chipboard piece that I've been dying to use, you guys, and this sketch was perfect for it. A little on the thicker side, but absolutely perfect. So I'm going to pull out all the inner pieces and whatnot and see how it looks on my layout. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. I love the little decorations that are already pre-printed on the page. Thank you, Pretty Little Studio. And I'm just having a blast putting this layout together. It's another fun and fast layout because following the sketch almost to a T, makes for a fast page. It's not a whole lot of thinking except for where do I want what where, which I just said. One of the other things is my photos aren't going up and down. They're going left and right. So I do have to turn the sketch just one direction to the right so that way I can have follow the sketch to where I've got my 2 photos, my horizontal photos rather than vertical photos. So that's pretty much the only thing that I do, but that also changes where the embellishments go. So I do change up that a little bit as well, because when I stack my photos, it creates little shelves and nooks and crannies for my embellishments. So that is what I plan. I love seeing Roscoe running across the river. I'm sitting on rocks that are separating us from the roaring river that is right behind us to the nice little stream that is leaking in slowly into our campsite. So it's actually kind of cool to see the gushing. And I mean, the roaring river was so loud that it was peaceful, but yet it filled in that gap where, you know, nobody talks or anything. You could just hear that rushing water. But then the kids also had this nice little stream to play in at the same time. So that was fun too. All right, so for my tissue paper, I'm going to crinkle it up and use it as a large mat behind. It's something that Crystal didn't use, but I like it because I'm going to be able to use it as a cluster base. So that's where my clusters are going to sit inside those little nooks that I created using my photos. So I've got a nook down at the bottom on the left and a nook up at the right, on the upper part of the right. So I'm also going to take my Distress ink, I think this is Weathered Wood, and go ahead and just ink up very, very briefly. I'm not trying to change the color dramatically. I just wanted to add a little bit of color. And what's really cool about the chipboard is that it soaks the color in, so it'll be even lighter once I'm done applying all the ink and letting it dry for just a little bit. So it doesn't just sit on top of the surface. It really does soak in. I'm checking my fingers to make sure that I don't get this ink all over my fingers as well, because I do feel like I'm working with white paper, and I'm really cautious of playing around with the inks and getting smudges. But it's just, yeah. I'm going to use these 2 pieces of wood grain, so that way I can represent the tag toppers that Crystal uses on one of her photos. And because I rotated it a little bit, my tag toppers will be up at the top. So I'm going to add those on there. So the first dry run that I'm going to do with these photos and this sketch is with the flowers and the florally bits, and try and get that mood and feel that Crystal has portrayed on her sketch. It's a very soft, very, very flowing, very beautiful sketch that she has picked out. But the photos that I picked out for this particular one aren't soft and flowing. They're outdoorsy and relaxing, in my opinion. And I definitely loved adding in these leaves. However, I tried to put them on top of my my sketchy circle, and it did not work. They just were not working the way that I wanted them to. So I went ahead and I added them underneath, which I really like as well. And it kind of makes them blend in and look like they are part of that sketchy circle. So now I'm just going to add in the flowery bits, but I didn't like the white leaves that I picked out. These flower bits, oh my gosh, was way back when my store first opened, and I was making cut files, had no clue how to make a cut file. And so these are one of the first cut files that I had made and released. Yeah, and I don't think they're available in the shop anymore, but I happen to have 2 of them hanging around. I don't know why, and I don't know where they even came from. They were in my stash somewhere. It must have been in my outdoor stash. So I decided to not mess with the embellishments. I'm going to go ahead and put all of my leaves underneath, so that way they don't get shifted and moved around, and get what I know is going to be a good thing put down, so that way I can manipulate my other embellishments that are going to go on top of everything once what I know is going to stay is secured. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of white glue to put my my sketchy circle down. And I love it. Oh my gosh, look at how good that those leaves just poke out of there. That is so cool. I'm going to distress my tag toppers in a way, and that gives them just a little bit of personality when I put them on my page. And I like the fact that with the distressed edge, now I can tell that there's 2 of them instead of just a weird cut wood grain. Before I did the distressed edge, they just looked like one solid piece cut wonky. So now I can actually tell that there's 2 of them. And I'm going to start with these little critters. I've got a moose and a bear. Not that we have moose. We don't have bear in our area, but we are starting to get moose in the area because of the fires from they're being pushed down from Idaho. Not where we are. We were up in a national forest, and it's way high up in the canyon. We haven't seen moose up there, but down where I live by the lake where I live, we actually have a resident moose that can be seen uber early in the morning. If you're an early bird, you can catch him wandering across the grass before he goes and finds a better spot to hang out with during the day when the commotion comes. But at night he comes back, he beds down, and then he gets up for his morning walk and doesn't come back until nighttime. So it's I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, to be honest. Sorry, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl moose, but I call him a he because he's big. It's the size. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the inner bits of my die cuts, just because that way they don't have this big white spot. It's kind of, those white spots are kind of eyesores. I have one on the title that says Home Away from Home, but it's a foam, and I really can't cut that out. If it was just a paper title, then I definitely would have cut that out, because it's an eyesore to me, because it's a big blank white spot. Off camera, I did go and flatten my flare. I just didn't do it for this video because it's kind of a repetition now, something that I do, and I feel like it's been in enough videos that when I say flatten my flare, you guys get an idea of how I do that. I am going to add a little bit more foam to my foam titles because I'm popping it up. So I popped my photos on foam, and then I popped a flare down, and so my foam title will be on a popped up photo plus a flare plus a chipboard. Not all three at once, but to make it not sag in the middle, I had to add a little bit of foam to those to that title. I'm going to add this really cool map that is printed on cork board from Pear Tree Cut Files. I had just the map in the backpack, and they were absolutely perfect for this layout because we didn't have a map. We don't need one. Here where we are camped, we're actually right above the Boy Scout camp. It's called the Lions Club camp. And when you go down into the Lions Club camp, there's actually 3 different hiking trails. It's kind of like a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced hiking trails. And the more that you go to the Lions Club camp, the more that you get to explore those trails, and there's no way you can get lost. So there's not really a map, but when you get to the camp, you can actually see this trail goes off this way, and it's approximately this many miles long. This trail goes this way, it's approximately this mile long, and so on and so forth. And then the advanced one actually tells you about the terrain, like it's going to be up 5% as of an incline, and most of the people don't think about the trails going up. They think about the trails coming back down. So in case you guys are curious, but we always take all of them. It's for us, it's super fun, and our puppies really enjoy going for hikes. In all honesty, they're just brand new smells and different things to see and all that good stuff. All right, to finish off this layout, I'm going to take these super cool wood grain sequins. They are sticky backed already, and they are from Close to My Heart many, 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 many years ago. I mean, like a long time ago. Again, I'm just a collector because I don't think about using stuff like that. And yeah, that is pretty much the layout that I have for you guys today. I'm going to fussy around with it a little bit. I didn't take the sticky back off of my foam, and it sagged in a little spot, but it's not a big deal. And once I popped it up, it laid down perfectly fine. And that is my sketch, or well, my interpretation of Crystal's sketch for today. I absolutely love how this turned out and the direction that I went. I ditched all the flowers and the florally and the pretty and went towards the camping. I also took out the moose and bear somewhere in the video. I forgot. But yeah, I took those out because this is more of like our campsite and how we set up our campsite, and taking pictures of how it takes very little time to set it up, and then we're just feel like we're at home. It really is. All right, Crystal, thank you so much for an amazing sketch to work with. Don't forget the 2 links down below. One is a playlist for those that are playing along with YouTube with Christy's Beautiful Life, and the other one is to her Facebook group, in case you guys haven't joined us over there, to go check out the other 13 series that she has. Plus, I think she has a best of. So there's actually 15 series to go check out over there. That is a ton of sketches to go and check out, all in one spot for you guys for inspiration and whatnot. Plus, every photo that you pick into in the albums, you get to see all the inspiration of other layouts and how people depicted those layouts or those sketches as well. So loads. And I only started back in series 8. So I don't have very much mileage on these sketches, but man, it's awesome. Good job, Christy. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.